Hello, I'm Josh Pruitt, one of the product managers for SystemLink, and today I'm going to show you how you can use SystemLink to seamlessly automate and streamline your lab and production line operations, as well as amplify product insights as an integrated, scalable enterprise solution. Today I will walk you through our close-the-loop demo. You will see a connected workflow where inputs and actions lead to specific results, and these results are then fed back into the system to complete the loop. This demo showcases SystemLink's impact on operational efficiency, how it substantially reduces the overall cost of tasks and enables data-driven decision-making. It reclaims the precious time once consumed by manual actions and spreadsheets. So let's get started with the software. So when I log into SystemLink from the home page, you'll see that we have a couple different links at the bottom. So the bottom left, you're going to see a link to the SystemLink's documentation. Here's where you can find more information on specific workflows. Next, we have the SystemLink client download. So this will need to be downloaded and installed on each test system before you can connect it to SystemLink. And then finally, we have a link to our API documentation where you can find information on all the different APIs that are available in SystemLink, as well as examples on how to use them. This can be used to help publish data, as well as download information from SystemLink programmatically, as well as interact with some of the other actions. If we go back to the home page, from here we can click on Systems to drill in to see some more information about the test systems that we're managing. Now this view, like many of the other views in SystemLink, it has the ability to filter what's currently being shown. In addition, you can customize that are columns to change what's being displayed about each system here from the right. If we click on one of these systems, we can drill in and see some additional information about the test system. On the first tab, we have a list of the assets, so that this includes both the NI as well as third-party equipment that's connected to this test system. So I can easily see my PXI chassis as well as the modules that are in each slot. And for each module, I can see additional information like the calibration as well as its current temperature. In addition, if I go up to operations on the top, I can see actions such as self-test, self-calibrate, and reset. If we switch over to the software tab, we can see more information about the software that's currently installed on our test system. Again, this includes both NI as well as third-party software that's been deployed, including things like LabVIEW and Testing applications. At the top, I can see that I have several new updates available that I can remotely install using SystemLink. And in addition, I can install new software on the test system, including, again, NI as well as third-party software. So let's switch over and look at some additional information about the products that we're going to test with SystemLink. So in this case, I'm looking at some example battery products that I've previously uploaded to SystemLink. From this view, I can click on one of the products to look at some of the additional information about it. On the Test Results tab, this is where I can see all the previous testing that's been completed on this product. And we'll come back to this in a bit. If I move to the Specifications tab, here's where you can optionally specify all the testing that you intend to complete in using your test system, and the different specifications you intend to cover, including things like the minimum, typical, as well as the maximum values for each of the specs. If we click on one of the specifications, we can see additional information about the conditions that we wish to test. In this case, we intend on running the test across -20 degrees Celsius all the way to 45 degrees Celsius. If we go back to the product and now switch over to the test plans, here's where I can schedule all the testing that we intend to execute for this product. If I click Create Test Plan, I'll get a list of optional test plan templates. These match the ones I have previously uploaded to SystemLink, and they're designed to be flexible enough so that you can reuse the same test plan across multiple products or even multiple product families. In addition, they're going to be grouped by the different test plan template categories. In this case, you can see I've uploaded a few for functional, durability, and characterization, but this is all customizable per your deployment. In this case, I'll go ahead and pick a battery inspection test. In addition to some of the basic attributes about the DUT I want to use, I can also link it to a work order if I want to group a bunch of test plans together. As well as on the Properties tab, I can see this test plan template included a couple additional custom properties that I can customize. In addition, you could include additional ones, things like charge limits, discharge limits, as well as the number of cycles perhaps I want to charge this battery, just as all as examples. So if we go ahead and create the test plan, if we've configured everything we want to, we can move it to the defined state. At this point in time, a lab manager perhaps would log into SystemLink, and they would go to test plans and either to the defined list or, for example, the assigned to me list, where it'll show me all the test plans that have been assigned to me that need actions. If I go back to the defined list, you can see the test plan that we just recently defined, and we can go ahead and click schedule. From here, we can pick a time and date we would wish to start the test, as well as the system we wish to execute it on, and the DUT we intend to use as part of this. In addition to being able to manually specify the date and time, SystemLink also has a schedule view built into it, so you can see a graphical version of your calendar and see what test plans are planned to execute on what systems on what days. So now let's assume we're an operator and we've logged into SystemLink. We can now go to the schedule task to see what tests need to be run next. So in this case, I'm going to select the battery inspection test that we had previously created and scheduled. And from here, you'll see that SystemLink has the option to remotely start the execution. Now, remotely starting the execution may not be appropriate for every kind of test, but it's a feature that's built into SystemLink that allows it to connect to your remote test execution system. So from here, we can hit start, and this test will start. At this point in time, it's probably good to switch over and show you some of the new dashboarding capabilities added to SystemLink. So the dashboards are very customizable. So from SystemLink, for example, I have this map view where I can see the various testing locations that we have configured in this system. And I can click on one of the systems to drill in to see more information about this site. In this case, you can see that we've customized the dashboard to show a visual representation of the lab, and so I can see each test system that's in the lab as well as some information about it. In addition, I can see some of the stats about the lab, including things like the number of tests that are currently passed, failed, errored, or currently running, as well as some other KPIs for things like the uptime, utilization, as well as alarms and previously executed tests. If we click on one of these, we can drill in to see more information about this tester that's currently running. So in this case, I've customized this dashboard to show things like the temperature information for this test cell, as well as some of the stats about the system, monitoring its memory and its disk usage, which are out of the box in SystemLink. In addition, we can also use these dashboards to create templates for viewing the results. So here below, I have a couple past tests that have previously executed, and I can click on one of them to open up, in this case, an HPPC battery test report, where I can see the current voltage and temperature when this test previously executed. To show you how easy it is to customize these dashboards, you can simply click Add Visualization, and from the top right, you can pick from a variety of different UI widgets to choose from, including everything from time series, bar charts, stats, gauges, as well as things like the map that we previously showed you below. In addition, you can overlay custom images like our lab layout that we had in the previous dashboard. So from here, let's switch back to our products to see how you can look at the coverage of those specs that we previously talked about, as well as the test results themselves. So if I click on the product that we were previously viewing, here you can see a history of all the test results we had previously completed. If I click on one of the test results, you can see more information about the steps that were executed. In this case, one of the steps failed, and I can click on that one to see some more information about why. In this case, we were running a test, a simple ACR measurement, and the limits for this test need to be between 9 and 30 milliohm. And in this case, the measure value was 32, which is why this test failed. Now, if you want to see more information about how often this test may be happening, perhaps it's limited to a specific product, DUT, or system, we have some built-in data visualization tools to help you along the way. So if I click on that ACR and go to Visualize Measurements, you'll see all the past results every single time we've run this test in the past across every DUT and across every test system. And I can hover over each one of these to see more information about each result, but again, it can be kind of hard to see if there's any trends. So in this case, let's go ahead and customize how we're coloring some of the various measurements. In this case, I'll pick the system. And you'll see that now SystemLink's color coding the various measurements that we had based on the system, but it's still kind of hard to see if there's a specific trend here. So let's go ahead and switch from a scatter chart to a box plot, and we'll go ahead and clear out our x-axis. And so in this way, we're now binning the data per the system that executed the test And you can see that there is indeed a slight shift on this battery pack station 2. The tests are slightly elevated compared to the rest of the systems. And so this may be an indication perhaps that either there's a device or asset that's connected to that test system that's out of calibration, or perhaps maybe there's just a cable that needs to be replaced. But anyways, this is the kind of thing that you can do to compare your test systems, and in many cases do some root cause analysis. In addition to comparing each test system, we could also use this same approach to look at, for example, battery test cells across various suppliers, different chemistries, different vendors, things of that nature. You can use it to compare lots of different results. All right, so let's go back. And so in this case, I was showing you how to use SystemLink to look at some of the parametric data. Let's take a closer look at how we can also look at time series data. So in this case, I'm going to select a specific result. In addition to the parametric data shown here, we also have something called data tables. In this case, the data tables are ideal for storing analog data, time series, waveforms, things of that nature. You can see I have several different data sets connected to this single test result. And these can span anywhere between a handful of columns to thousands of columns, and anything between a handful of rows up to a billion rows per data table. In this case, I'm going to choose one that has some example data that has a limited number of rows, just so you can see what it looks like. So if we go to visualize the data table, you're going to see the same data view we were previously using for the parametric data. In this case, I can select the index and choose various y-axes to show, and SystemLink will very quickly plot the time series data. In addition, I can choose between simple scatter or line charts. And we also have some additional distribution charts that you can add to the data sets as well. Again, going back and bringing those box plots in, as well as things like violin and histograms, so we can better see how the distribution of data is occurring in our data set. If I go back to products, we can now compare, based on all the testing that we've previously done, to some of the specifications. So for that, I'm going to switch to a different data set. In this case, we're going to be looking at some voltage regulator tests that we had previously executed. And if I go to specs, this is where you can see the various specifications. And now we're filling out the compliance report. And you can see which specs have passed and which ones have failed, as well as some additional information on why they failed. So in this case, we had this line regulation that we're testing. And it needed to be between a certain condition of 5 to 75. But it looks like the max compliance was 77 after we've completed all our testing. Now this may be a case where we need to go in and look at the design of the product, make some changes, or tweak the specifications for the product before we release it. So with this workflow, I've kind of shown you how you can close the loop with SystemLink. We've gone all the way from starting off with our initial specifications, to managing the DUTs, to testing the product itself, monitoring the test, collecting the data, and now we've come back to the compliance report for our specifications. In addition, we have a couple other tools built into SystemLink to help you along the way. In addition to our dashboards, we also have an integrated Jupyter Notebook Python development environment that allows you to create custom scripts that can be executed either on intervals or during specific events, for example, when new files arrive in the system. In addition to the Python, being able to execute the Python locally inside of Jupyter, we also have something called routines that allows you to automate the execution of these Jupyter notebooks when new data arrives. So in my case, if I sort this view by created by and scroll down to find some of the ones I've created, for example, I have one down here for importing specifications. So instead of manually adding each specification to SystemLink, instead I've created a really simple CSV file, and anytime I upload that file to SystemLink and it contains the word specs and has the extension, the Excel extension in the demo workspace, it's automatically triggering this Jupyter Notebook to run, which is going to pull the data out and then upload it in SystemLink, again, to cut down on having to do tedious work to manually enter in all the information. In addition, some of the other things we have in SystemLink, so executions is what you can use to remotely monitor these executions, these routines that are executing automatically. In addition, we have a very advanced role-based access control where you can customize SystemLink and create multiple workspaces and then give different users different permissions for those workspaces. So As an example, I can be an administrator for one workspace, be just to have read-only access to a second, and for example, not even know that a third one exists. And so with that, you can highly customize SystemLink to really match your overall a larger scale enterprise deployment in addition to individual small labs. So with that, we've kind of walked you through and shown you all the various aspects of SystemLink, again, closing the loop in our test operations. For more information, please go to YouTube and check out our SystemLink channel, as well as go to ni.com and check out our learning paths. We have more information and we go into deep dive videos for each of the high-level workflows that I showed you today. Thank you and have a wonderful day.